want to go to the east side of Croatia, east of Zagreb.
It's kind of like an area that we don't think very many people go and explore, so that's why it's appealing.
Yeah, people are drawn to the west coast because of the beaches and the islands, and the east coast has this kind of special appeal for us. In order to do that, we'd like to have a car. I think going public transport, it's going to go way slower, and we won't have access or easy access to just magical things. We'll be trapped on a bus. So we've hit a snag, and that snag is having a debit card.
A debit. Let me clarify. A debit brand. It's a debit, but with a Visa branded logo on it, which we have talked with our bank about, and shouldn't be a problem. However,
our bank says we have like a credit limit on the card, so it can be run at. Anywho.
The people in Europe see this word debit and they won't use it for car rentals, essentially, is what it really boils down to. And sometimes, because we've used it in Europe a few times with no problem, and
Isle of Man.
It's kind of, yeah, we used it in England too. But when we got to Scotland, we ran into a bit of trouble, and here we've noticed that they won't even let you pay with it at all. They want like a non-debit branded Visa card. So I mean, maybe there's something that we don't understand about the system or whatever, it's possible. But that brings us to...
We have booked a car at Hertz without having to enter any credit card information. Awesome. So there should be a car waiting for us at a building down the street, but we don't know if they're going to take our card.
And if they don't, then we don't know where we're going right now.
Yeah,
and if they
don't take our card, then we don't know if we're going to go to the east or the west, or...
If they do take our card, we really don't really know where we're going either.
Yeah, that's
we know we're
true.
going to head eastish, but we don't have a place to stay tonight. We don't have anything booked, nothing.
Yeah, because of this debit card situation, we have made no plans past 10 o'clock today, because we don't know where we're going to be, what we'll be doing, and what we intend to do.
And it's like 9:57. So we're entering uncharted territory.
Yes. Had one of our best Croatian...
It hasn't been recording.
Yeah,
wait for the record button.
I think we just had one of our best Croatian experiences.
So far, yeah. We went in to rent this car and pick it up, and like the lady in there is like stern and completely awesome. And
stern to the point that we decided that if she didn't like you, you know she didn't like you.
But she totally liked us, because she's like, where are you going? And we were like, we're going east. And she was like, good.
She was like, are you going south? And we were like, no, we're going east. And she's like, good.
And she was like, the people that go to the south are stupid. Like over and over and over, we heard the word stupid.
But we're gonna go south. We want to go east first.
She's just happy to see that two people are coming and just going into the places that people don't usually go, which is like the northeast of Croatia. It's like not the touristy area, because everybody goes to the beaches. She was really happy with us, and she got a map out. And I started telling her, I want to go here, and I want to go here, and I want to go here, and they were all on her list of like, okay, yeah, I know why you want to go there. Yep. Yeah. So it was a very good experience. She didn't even blink at the fact that our credit card said debit on it, which I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that places that won't take it, there's something sketchy going on. Like, this is Hertz. This is like we chose to pay a little more to go to a place that is like established and international. Because
of the situation that we had with our previous rental in Scotland, we decided we would pay 20 more euros,
which isn't much, really,
not to deal with the possibility of a scam.
Yeah, and this does not at all feel like a scam, not even a little bit.
No.
And like, again, she didn't even blink at our card. She's like, yeah, no problem. She didn't even mention it. There's nothing. She just ran it, and she's like, okay, you're good. Like, okay.
Yeah, like the whole time I'm just sitting there going, this is all gonna fall apart now.
Yeah.
It's all gonna fall apart now.
It never did.
No, we're signing stuff.
And now we're in a car.
I'm in a car. Is it gonna fall apart?
So we're gonna go explore the east.
Yeah.
Exciting. Well, I don't know why, but it's exciting.
It's definitely exciting.
That's why it's exciting, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited how excited that lady was.
Yeah. I wish she was in the car with us right now and was just going through the whole thing, and she would point out all the stupid things. She told us about all the stupid things that we have to worry about, and she used the word like stupid 7 times.
You gotta close your door.
Oh, sorry.
All right, let's move.
Okay, we're out of here. We just realized that we did not do the solar system, so we're backtracking a little bit back into town. And we also realized that Neptune is not the next planet.
I've just been informed that Neptune is next.
I feel very foolish.
I was asking you about Uranus. I knew what I was talking about.
He did know that about my Wait, no. So we are heading back to Uranus, and we're gonna go find it in a car. It is more than 4 kilometers from where we were, so
Would have been a bummer to walk.
it definitely would have been a bummer to walk. Glad we have wheels, and we're on our way to Uranus. We'll see you when we get there.
About to grab Uranus. Here she is.
That's a scary hemorrhoid.
So, I just realized while we were driving that this video is probably going to be split from the previous video where we were talking about these. And what this is a part of a scale model that is set on the city of Zagreb, that is centered with a sun in the middle, and then each of the solar system's planets placed how far away from the sun they would be on a 1/680 millionth size scale. So we were able to walk to all the other ones, but we were like, we have to put these on the back burner because they're so far away that we got to walk to them, or we got to have wheels to get to them. So we've driven out to Uranus, and we have found it. And maybe one day, I was thinking about this too, maybe one day I'll explain to everybody about how the planet of Uranus got me expelled from high school. But I think that story's for another day, and we're gonna head to Neptune now.
We found Neptune. It was just a little bit down the road.
But I mean, again, like that would have been a hell of a walk.
Yeah, it would have definitely been a hell of a walk by interstates. Like, we weren't walking on nice, like, regular roads. We were driving on interstates.
Do you remember how little Mercury was?
Yeah, Mercury was tiny.
And then Neptune's pretty big, right? And do you remember how big the sun was? Remember, it was taller than you.
Yeah, the sun was taller than me. Jupiter was pretty big.
It's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
We're going to be saving Pluto for another day. Hopefully, we'll remember.
Because it's across the city, and it would be another.
It'll add an hour basically to the whole trip or something like that, and it's just like we want to.
It's better for us to just get east as opposed to going west to tackle
see
that.
Something that's going to be like this big. So I'm hoping that we remember to do this when we swing back into Zagreb, because we have to drop the car off.
We're gonna put on our Google Calendar or something like that.
This one just kind of brought us into a little neighborhood too, like a little place where people are living. It's like not a park or anything like that. It's just like on this sign. I think this is an amazing installation.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you understand like the vastness of the distance between planets now?
I know that it is Uranus then Neptune.
You do. You know the order now.
I know it now. That's embarrassing. It's like stuff you should know.
Yeah, I think I agreed with you though. I was just like, yeah, okay, Katie must be right.
Definitely
Show something about me.
Yeah, you're gullible is what you are.
Oh, and the car. What's the car's name?
Car's name is Jacquelina. We named him. Cars are hymns to me, but we named her after our lovely Hertz lady.
You often find signs in countries that use different languages than your own that are kind of funny in your language, right? I think I may have found my favorite. I think I found the ass man. We've driven for a couple of hours, and we've just been driving through farming fields and just like green areas and little villages and stuff. And it's been a very pleasant little drive. It's not remarkably beautiful or anything. It's just very pleasant. The driving is very easy and the roads are all super nice. And we have stopped inside of one of the, like, kind of a bigger village compared to some of the other ones we've driven through. And the reason we stopped is we're getting hangry. And it's about maybe 2 o'clock or something like that. And we have landed at a place that on their menu it said meatballs, and we were like, okay. So we went in and we ordered the meatballs, and it comes out and it is on 2 big pieces of bread like a sandwich, right? It looks like sausages. And then Katie was like, can we get some sauce or something? And she was like, all right. So she brought us some ketchup, and we put some onions and some ketchup onto it. I'm not really clear on how I'm supposed to eat this because she gave us weapons, but it looks like a sandwich style thing. So I'm just gonna pick it up and eat it with my hands. Maybe I'm supposed to be cutting it into pieces. I'm not really clear.
All these sausages gonna be on the floor.
Yeah, the sausages are gonna be falling, y'all. And it's pretty big. But the sausages inside don't take up all of the bread. But looking at this, I think the bread is going to be the most fun part. It looks like an interesting consistency, almost like a pancake in consistency, but I don't expect it to be sweet. It's she put it on like she fried it or something because it's got a lot of like grease in it. I didn't get any meat. I'm gonna have to take another bite. The bread it's warm, it's a fluffy type of bread, and I think I can get in there and I can get one of these little sausages. All right, that's sausage. Oh, they're escaping. It's oddly like a American style breakfast sausage.
I am so excited.
I would never have expected to find that here, but I mean, I guess it makes sense, but like in sandwich format, and like the whole thing is just a little bit surprising. I didn't think I'd be having little wieners or whatever for lunch here at the side of the road in Croatia. Just finished up lunch, and we found something that we keep seeing on the side of the road, and this is a new one for us. It's like a giant Fabergé egg, kind of, like they painted this huge egg.
It's an egg.
And the other ones we've seen have been in front of churches and stuff, and they've had like religious stuff like painted on them. But this one just looks like dudes.
Is this egg its own egg?
Is this egg? I think this egg might be its own egg. It doesn't seem like a religious egg. I just thought it was outside churches until right now.
Yeah.
And there's also this big log. So we're gonna check out this giant log.
This has the biggest ball of yarn feel to it.
There she is. Let's do a quick runabout, huh?
Really exciting. We just got here. Woo! It's a big item. We gotta check it out. It was just a big tree at some point, that's for sure. I don't have much to say about this other than they've covered the wood with wood.
Are you on team egg or are you on team log?
Oh, way log.
We're on log? I think I'm down with that egg, man.
Look at this log.
I'm not a huge soda drinker, but I do like to try sodas when we go into new countries, especially sodas that are something that I've never seen before. And in this case, we've got some Sky Cola. And I don't know if this is specifically a Croatian thing or not, or if it's just from the region, but we're gonna jump in and see what we got. It smells like Pepsi more than Coca-Cola. And it's a bit metallic tasting. It's not as sweet as Coca-Cola is, but it's okay. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like the Walmart stuff, you know? Like the budget jams. I had a little bit of a problem there. There was a guy and a bicycle in the road and he made me slow down.
You think you can just take your hands off the steering wheel and just let this one drift?
It's really a straight arrow. I think we may have kind of hit the time of year that we've come here, being that spring is starting, because check this out. We keep driving past these huge flower fields, these yellow explosions coming up out of the ground. This is a pleasant little surprise, and I think Katie...
It's also a pleasant smell.
It does. It smells like flowers.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
When I got out of the car, I was like, I am in a bouquet.
You're right. It is quite overwhelming. My brain doesn't process smells the way your brain does. I don't notice them for some reason.
Oh, I noticed.
There's some right here. Let me get a sniff here. Yeah, that's it. Definitely, for sure.
That's good.
You said you had something fun?
Oh yeah, we got fika. The thing that I got, she said it was creme pita. Okay. And I'm gonna do the big reveal.
All right, should I zoom in here?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Blood out.
It's like squishy. Oh my gosh.
I think it's like flan and
stuff. Here,
stuff.
I'll hold it and you can eat it.
No.
We're gonna do it together?
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
That top piece is really...
It's gonna be hard to break through in your hand.
It's more rice cakey than I thought it was gonna be.
Okay, what are we doing this to flowers?
To flowers.
All right. Yeah, it's like...
It's like flan and rice pudding mixed together.
Rice pudding-ish flan. It's pretty good. That's a good, like, full flavor. God, you're right, the flowers, man.
Now you can smell them.
That's all I can smell.
Are you seeing this? That is the biggest nest I've ever seen in my life. And it's a real bird. This isn't like something somebody set up, they come to our town, we made the biggest nest. No, this is this bird's nest. The bird made that. The bird needed like the jacuzzi of all bird nests. Just did some Googling in the car and it turns out that these are storks. These are the ones that bring the babies. And the way that they've done their nest is really, really typical of them. They like just a pole and then they like to make something at the top of a pole. I saw some crazy pictures on Google, but this is standard stork stuffs. Found some extra special stuff. Hopefully they'll still come over here. Even though we're standing here, we'll find out. We did not get to play with any lambs, but Eric did get shocked by the electric fence. That's pretty good.
So we're trying to get to this statue that's up on this hill. It's kind of way out in the countryside. Like we just drove through a little village, but then they were like, turn off this road, and I was like, go up that? Can we? Apparently you can, and up we go, but it's super narrow. And like I've done things like this on like little motorbikes and scooters and stuff before, but never in a car, and it just ended. And I'm not driving any further because I don't know about this area, but I did read at one point that somebody was like, be careful of landmines. So I don't think that our car's insurance covers that. So if we're gonna go any further, we're gonna park the car and go on foot and hope that there's no landmines. All right, so we got to the end of that road and it turned into not a road anymore. And then I was like, maybe we'll walk and hopefully it's safe. But then a dude showed up, and this dude showed up and he didn't speak anything we speak, and we didn't speak anything he speaks, but he gave us a pretty good indication that don't go that way for this thing you want to see. We showed him on a map like we were trying to get, and he was like, no, like you got to go back down here and you got to go this way, and that's about all. That's about all we understood. But I know that going that way isn't the way to go, so we're going this way now.
From what I've gathered, go around is a very Croatian thing. There's usually something that you could go through the middle, but it never ends up being an option. It's either a military base or a possible road that might have landmines. You should go around. For most of the day, we've been hugging the Hungarian border. We haven't been able to see anything Hungarian because the road is still a good number of kilometers away from the border, but we've been very close to the most northern road that you can ride in Croatia. And we've been riding that to Batina. And in Batina, I read that there's just an amazing female statue, and strangely enough, the other day Eric was just telling me that female statues are some of his favorite things, so I thought, if we get the chance, we'll go there. So we've come to this lovely female statue. She looks very powerful. The reason, I guess, that they built this statue here, or reason that the location is interesting, is that from here, in Croatia, across the river, I can see Serbia, and in the distance over here, there's no like land marker, it's just further down the land is Hungary. So you can see all three countries from this vantage point. And I'd have to say that I think the statue in itself, the female and the males that are standing behind me, are both really powerful feeling. They put this wind into all of the statues, and it is kind of intense. And the wind's blowing a little bit now, not too much, thank goodness, not as much as they're showing, but it has an intensity, and I really do like that. Batina is out of the way. Definitely out of the way. This is not like a tourist draw. There's nothing happening up here. It is just a little town that has an amazing statue and a great vantage point. So I wouldn't say a lot of people are coming up here, but it was totally worth it.
Another reason this monument exists where it's at is that historically this has been the location of a military fort, I guess would be a good word to use, that has been here since Roman times. And from a strategic standpoint, it seems like a pretty wonderful place to have a military presence because it is kind of like the highest hill in the area, and it is sitting across from the river. So if the dudes from the river on the other side wanted to try to invade, that would be quite a feat to accomplish, to get across water and then up a vantage point to the top of a hill while you were able to shoot down on them or defend, you know, your militariness from above. So it makes a lot of sense that they would have these statues here that are looking very military-esque and looking like they are commemorating people that have probably fallen in the name of keeping this area Croatian.
Eric spotted a tank in the middle of the night. We are going to Vukovar. It is a city that has been contested over, and they're...
As recently as like the 90s
1990s, and warfare has happened here. We're not super educated. We're planning on getting educated tomorrow, but when you see a tank on the side of the road, you stop.
Hey, we pulled up to it and we're just staring right down the barrel of the thing. And it's a little bit intimidating. Like, you know it's decommissioned. A tank's not going to shoot at you, but there's still kind of a weird feeling in your gut.
And you should put yourself in the shoes of being on the other end of that tank. You really should, because this is happening now, right now.
Yeah.
There's a tank moving somewhere. Might not be shooting, but it's planning on it, or thinking about it, or might be in the near future. This is happening everywhere. Not everywhere, but in certain places.
Everywhere. You went over the line with it there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I meant by everywhere, but I mean, it's happening.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, man.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing. Make sure you're subscribed so you can learn about the shocking history of Vukovar with us in our next video. Liking and commenting on our videos helps YouTube's robot send more people to our channel and is very appreciated. Also be sure to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. As always, thanks to all our patrons for helping us make this video series.